This podcast is brought to you by Dr. Fletcher. Needles, crying babies, helicopter parents. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a recipe for a miserable day. Unless, of course, you're talking about a trip to Dr. Fletcher's pediatrics office. Whether for an annual checkup, a case of the sniffles, or in Andrew's case, 2 consecutive sets of stitches in the exact same location, Dr. Fletcher makes pediatrics easy peasy. Dr. Fletcher. Come for the beard, stay for the post-shot lollipop. Welcome to Little, Middle, and Biggle, Late Night Edition. We are here at the ungodly hour of 6:14 p.m. recording a Little, Middle, Biggle because we are busy people, but we want to bring you the good quality, or at least consistently in quality content. So, yeah, apologies
Precision
in advance.
more important than accuracy.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
What an intro.
yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, I'm your middle brother. I'm your middle brother, Joshua.
I'm your little brother, Andrew.
I'm your big old brother, Noah.
And we're the ones who will answer your little, middle, and biggle questions in life. So we are back to our original roles. Andrew as the little. Will you take us away?
Yes. So carrying on with the clothing trend and my questions,
Oh, great. And just in your life in general.
I suppose. What is your most cherished shirt from between the ages of 6 and 13? Mine is this, it was a Minecraft shirt, and it was gray, and I think Noah gave it to me, actually, and it had, like, the villagers as Easter Island heads.
Yeah, I remember that being on pretty heavy rotation in your wardrobe.
Yeah. That was such an excellent shirt.
Here,
I really enjoyed wearing that.
brief noisiness. I'm going to turn off the fan. I just realized it's on.
I think we should leave that in.
Yeah, we're just going to leave this in.
Because this is a professional podcast.
This is also, it just feels very, very Noah for Andrew and I to be having a conversation, and Noah is just standing with his back to us, tugging on fan strings like, I wonder if it's...
Whoa. Standing in his scrubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely considered taking my pants off before I sat down, but
I did as
my
well.
window's open.
Man, it's a great... You're in Malibu, California. No one's going to care.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also, my underwear is on inside out today, and I realized this morning, and I haven't changed it, and it's been fun.
Yeah. You know, it's not like there's a lot of difference in the material of the outside and the inside of the underwear. It's not like they put like anti-chafe magic on the inside and then have the outside be like the crags of not the Everglades. What are the mountain Himalayas? The crags of the Himalayas. Yeah, for your terrible experience. Okay, so we're talking about clothes, t-shirts. I've got to say, I do not remember a whole lot of t-shirts from my 6 to 13 age range. I remember some from like 14 plus. The thing is, we went to a school with uniforms up until age 13. So,
yeah, this is true.
Which I was thinking, slight aside, I so wish we had uniforms still. That was so nice. That was just like this beautiful gift that St. Andrews gave to us of just saying, you will never have to think about what you wear.
Okay, I think uniforms were great at St. Andrews, but like at this point, I would hate to wear uniforms. Not be able to like differentiate myself.
I mean, okay.
Or at least have to try way harder.
I was about to agree with Andrew, but I do like wearing scrubs.
Yeah, you are
Scrubs
kind of in
basically-
uniform.
I am literally sitting here in uniform.
Yeah.
Or are we all in the sociological uniform of our species?
What?
Sorry, it's too early for the biggle question.
I just yeah. Um,
We're all in the uniform that society dictates we are in.
I so do not think that. Do you seriously think that? I think that you, with your black painted nails and your peace sign shirt, are not necessarily in the uniform that society is dictating for you. I think that me with my ponytail, not necessarily in this, definitely not in the society norm for med student.
Well, but you are, in a
Yeah,
way,
this is true.
you are trying to differentiate yourself. So, what is your natural way of differentiation? It's a ponytail
See,
and long hair.
but it's not a means of differentiation. It's a means of donating hair.
Well, again, that's the mindset society has given you.
Is it the mindset that society's given me, or is it the mindset that I've made for myself?
I think it's both.
But not just the society one. Okay, I've out-talked Andrew once. That's enough for me. Yeah, okay. So, point being, I don't have a whole lot of memories of like good shirts pre-high school.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was.
I can totally change the question to between. How about between 6 and 13 years, or between? No, let's just do from years 14 to 18.
So we just say from childhood?
No.
No, that would be too easy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make it from childhood because, like, honestly, when Andrew, you will learn this when you are 24 years of age, the ripe old age of 24, childhood loses some of its definition. It is no longer early, late, middle childhood. It is just childhood. So, I would say my most memorable T-shirt is one that Andrew, you actually ended up stealing from me. It was, which happens, okay, for listeners, this happens relatively regularly in our household where we unintentionally steal clothing from each other because we have a housekeeper who folds all of our laundry because we are such spoiled brats and and it puts it in closets that are not always corresponding to the owner. So anyway,
Indeed.
it was a cat t-shirt that was like the cat was like lemonade yellow and pink lemonade pink and
Yeah.
with sunglasses on, hipster glasses, 3D hipster glasses, or like 3D glasses with a hipster frame. The classic hipster frame. You know what the hipster frame is. Everybody knows what the hipster frame is.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea I stole that from you. I thought it was a hand-me-down.
Nope.
Well, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. You know, it only broke
Little
my heart.
Middle Biggle, where old wounds are healed.
Yes. Or just reopened again.
Or begin to heal. Or yeah.
Yep. Well, Noah, I have a guess of. I can think of two shirts from high school in particular that you wore pretty much constantly.
What are they?
Well, okay, one of them has actually already been mentioned on Little Middle Biggle in the past. It's the popcorn shirt where
Yep.
it's the corn
Yep.
watching popcorn in the microwave and screaming, and it says underneath horror movie. And then the
Yeah.
other one is the old school Mountain Dew logo shirt.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Well, and see, a third one for me is no, they're after me, Lucky Charms!
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, that was like a slightly later one. I still have that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. If it was okay, if we're talking about during that age range, probably the Mountain Dew one, just because like I wore it all the time, but it was like super comfortable too. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of those like graphic tees have that really thick paint on the front or thick
Yeah.
ink, and it's like kind of gets a little sweaty and tough. But yeah, the Mountain Dew one was just nice and soft and comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also drank a lot of Mountain Dew as kids.
We did. I've thought about that. I was like, that for someone that doesn't drink coffee now, I drank a lot of Mountain Dew when I was little.
Yeah.
They should make like a healthy Mountain Dew esque beverage.
I'm sure it
Like
exists somewhere.
coffee.
Yeah.
Like coffee. Yeah.
Well, no, like lemon lime flavored.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can get like the white monsters, the white colored monsters. I think that those are orange.
Uh, those don't really like. I don't know. I always feel gross after I drink those.
Hmm.
I'm thinking more like something you would find at a health food store.
Like kombucha,
Maybe.
but like well caffeinated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
more bearable.
yeah,
hmm
yeah. Doesn't make you think the whole time, wow, I've got bacteria like swarming all over my tongue.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
The caffeine options at the cafeteria are kombucha or Coca-Cola Energy.
Oh my gosh.
So,
You
Nice.
have kombucha in your school cafeteria. What a SoCal
and
thing.
nothing else.
They don't even have coffee?
Yeah. Oh, well, they do have coffee.
Yeah, okay, okay.
But I mean, it's only at breakfast.
Wow. That's surprising to me that they only have coffee at breakfast.
I
They had
know.
coffee 24 hours a day at Hendrix.
I wouldn't even know. I was going to ask
See
if
what
they
you're
had-
paying for, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, they definitely had. They definitely had a lot of coffee. My freshman year, I was definitely going in for like those 4 p.m., 5 p.m. coffee chugs, that was a bad
Yikes.
decision. Man, I did not have a happy freshman year. That may have been part of it. Um, anyway, I guess that ends the little question. So, middle question.
Yeah.
That was a
Middle question.
chaotic question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how did we get
Yeah.
to coffee?
I don't know. You said something that
Mountain
I had
Dew,
to edit
okay.
out, and then we talked about cats and housekeepers and uniforms and yeah. Anyway, so
Yep.
my middle question of the day is what is your passion? I bring this up because for the longest time, I've been putting in my query letters to agents, literary agents, and also on my author bios in a couple of places where I've gotten published. I've put, um, I attended Hendrix College in 2019, or I graduated from Hendrix College in 2019, where I majored in health sciences and Spanishes while discovering that my passion is, in fact, neither. And and I thought like, haha, that's really, you know, up yours.
It's a
And
very clever, witty way to put that.
yeah, it's like low key passive aggressive vengeance, but not very passive actually at all, mostly just aggressive on the school that I occasionally did not enjoy. So, but then I was like, but okay, somebody is eventually going to ask. Like, if I ever get an agent, they're probably going to ask me, so what is your passion? I was like, shoot, I don't know. Because it's not necessarily writing. Writing is a passion, but it is not like it is a component of my passion, but it is not a passion in and of itself, I've realized. Because if I do writing for like 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, that soon becomes very unenjoyable. If I do anything more than like 4 hours a day, really, that becomes unenjoyable. But when I think of a passion, it's like something that I could do all the time, forever. So, like, Skyrim at one point was a passion for me,
Mm.
as was CrossFit at one time. That was a passion for me, or at least a component of a passion. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm not even sure because this will make more sense when I reveal what my passion really is. It is doing the difficult thing, whatever the difficult thing feels like for me in that moment. So, like, writing for a while, like making a cohesive story, that is doing a difficult thing. And so is like training for a marathon or like trying to lift heavier weights. All of that is doing a hard thing.
Or trying to complete the entire quest line of Skyrim.
Nah, no, I think that was just because I was lazy.
Uh,
But yeah, um, and Skyrim tickles my monkey brain. But anyway, anyway, point being, yeah, that is what I think my passion is. doing the difficult thing. I was going to say doing the hard thing, and I had like this whole spiel about how I always just want to do the hard thing. And then I thought, I'm making a podcast with Andrew Beggs. I
Yeah.
will say that, and then within 3 milliseconds, he'll say, "That's what she said." Anyway, yep. What about you guys?
You first or me first?
I feel like I never go first. I always carefully wait for you guys to ramble so that I can just calmly think. So I'll go first on this one.
Proceedeth.
Gracias. I don't know. That's a really hard one. It's really hard if there's one answer, and also I don't know if I either. Okay, so either I have passions and they just are ones that, even though I have a passion for them, I can get tired of them. Like, you're talking about with writing or with whatever. Or I have no idea what my passion is, because there are things that I love doing. Like I can sit and work on, like a video game or like an app or something for hours and hours and hours, day after day. But before too long, I'm like, I kind of want to do something else too, And like I can go work, like back when I was, even just working as a scribe, I could do shift after shift after shift, like back to back to back, and I'd like have a great time. But eventually, I'm like, I want to do something else. Like I don't think there's anything that I can just do all the time and just want to be doing only that thing. And I don't know if it's that I just get tired of it, or, well, I mean, I do kind of get tired of it, but I also like want to do the other things. I kind of, I don't know, I miss doing the other stuff. It's like the grass is always greener on the other side, but it's more like I just haven't walked around on that grass in a minute. And so I want to like frolic around and have a good time.
Feel it in your toes.
I think the better analogy would be you are a goat in a field, and there are slightly different weed concentrations in the different patches of grass of different species of weeds, and you just have to graze.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, today I really want some crabgrass. Oh man, maybe I'm feeling like some dandelions.
But sometimes
how
you
about
just
some
want
Bermuda?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, some bluegrass. Where's that music?
No, bluegrass. Bluegrass is an actual thing.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
It is. It is definitely music too.
Okay. Well, okay, Noah,
But
from an outside perspective, if you don't mind me taking a gander at what your overarching passion might be, I would say
not
it
at
is
all.
full engagement. Whatever you are doing, you want it to be fully engaging and in a way that is like somewhat fresh. Because just typically when I've seen you get sort of like, okay, ready to do something else, it's because like you've been doing it so long that it's like getting a little bit easier or more like routine a little bit and feels less engaging.
Maybe. But then it's also fun to go back to it later. But then maybe it's partially because it's fresh again. That's it.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
It's also, I feel like, yeah, I definitely am passionate about that. That's a good thought. But now that you're mentioning that, I feel like it's almost limiting to ask what is your passion, singular.
It is true. That's kind of what I was thinking in answering mine.
Yeah, because if you're constantly looking for the one passion, then every time that you are enjoying something and loving it and feeling passionate about it, but then like something goes wrong or you get a little bit tired of it and something else seems to strike your fancy, then you're like, oh, well, that wasn't my passion. Maybe this one's my passion. And in reality, you could be passionate about both of them, and being super passionate about, writing, for example, or about, app development, or, playing Skyrim or old Nintendo games or whatever. or whatever Andrew does, flying planes, that doesn't mean
If
that.
only.
Yeah, when you do something else, that doesn't make you not passionate about the first thing. But at the same time, if you try something for a while and you get tired of it, like then you're kind of at a crossroads where are you like, do you need to branch out and do something else that you're passionate about, or is this something that like you should trim out of your time sinks for the day because it is not benefiting you, or not what's the word, not enlightening, invigorating you, invigorating is a nice word. Enriching you, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I felt like I
that's
was
the
doing a
one.
crossword puzzle there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this kind of speaks to my personality, where I think of a passion as like something that you just bash your head against all day long, and I feel like I don't know. I get a lot of fulfillment, if not, even if it's not necessarily like the most wholesome fulfillment, from just beating my head against the wall of doing the hardest thing possible all day long. And like that is how I feel like I need to live, or like where I fit
Man,
in living.
I'm totally different in the way that I think about things, even if I do end up bashing my head against the wall, uh, not, oh my goodness, what's the word? Not hypothetically, bashing my head against the wall, not in reality, but what's the other word?
Proverbially,
Metaphorically.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. We oh my goodness, I'm so bad about
Crossword puzzle
words
part 2.
sometimes. Yeah. Thank you for solving the crossword puzzle of my poor word finding.
happy to do it. My
But
browser homepage is
yeah.
Power Thesaurus. Just as an
Yeah.
aside, like literally, I changed it from Google's Power Thesaurus because I realized every time I went on to Google Chrome, I would type in powerthesaurus.org and it just saves me an extra step because
You
Nice.
don't
I'm
still use
I don't still use what?
Tab for a Cause?
No. No. Oh my gosh, no. I stopped using Tab for a Cause a long time ago because they cracked my code in the sense that they knew exactly what ads would suck me in so hard.
Oh, see,
Well, I
I
don't think
just...
that's so much tab for a cause as it is Google Ads,
It's
because
true.
that's where they get them all from, I think.
I just have a blind spot there on my computer screen.
Gotcha.
It works
If
for me.
anyone from Tab for a Cause
Anyways, though.
or their sponsors is listening, like we totally look at those ads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Yeah.
Keep giving money to charities.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, but yeah,
But
I feel like
you were saying something profound,
just
and I interrupted.
but just you feel like you bash your head against the wall a whole bunch, and I feel like maybe I do that, but if it feels like sludgy to me, I feel like is the best word for it. If I don't feel like I am like grooving through something and I start to not want to do it, I have a really hard time convincing myself to do it. Like the whole banging my head against the wall thing, like I get burned out on it super fast, and I either want to find another way around or do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I almost feel like there's probably, some pros and cons to both our mindsets on that, because banging your head against it, like you can power through a lot, but also sometimes like maybe there's an easier way, or maybe you don't need to bang your head against it, or maybe it's not like the best thing for you to do. And for me, like it's great to be able to like kind of go around, but sometimes I like reach something I'm like, I don't really want to deal with this anymore. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna do something else now. Like I've gotten to where I can grind through stuff a lot more, probably like later in college. But my first couple of years, I didn't do super well. And probably a lot of that was because I was just like, miserable at TCU. But then like, I was having a hard time like getting myself to actually enjoy doing the classes. And it just felt like I was banging my head against a wall. And there were other things that I could do that were fulfilling and that I learned from, and so I wanted to do those instead. You know? But I
Yeah.
don't know.
A passion of differentiation.
I don't
Ooh.
know. What are you, passion? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Joshua? I can see in your face you're
I was
thinking.
okay. I was just thinking. So one, I don't know. The when you were talking about the when the grind starts, that's when you want to stop. For me, when like the grind feeling, the sludge feeling starts, that's when I'm like, okay, this is where the progress will happen. This is where I will build the the skills needed, or this is where I will like push past whatever mediocrity I might have been sitting in before. Like that, the sludge is, if I pour enough sludge into my life, it will buoy me up past the current level that I am on. So that is a terrible way to rephrase the well, way Arnold Schwarzenegger put it much more concisely when he was like, the last two, the last 1 and 2 reps are what make the muscle grow. Like, don't stop
Hmm.
until you absolutely have to, because that's where all the progress happens.
That's an interesting, nice Arnold Schwarzenegger quote.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty poorly
That's
paraphrased,
impressive.
but yeah, but
Well, no, but I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger and I think of like, get to the chopper,
yeah, I don't
not
know. The original,
actual life
the original
advice.
quote might have been like, "Yeah, it's the last two peg fly that make you have big man boob." But I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Andrew, what's your passion? I have a
Yeah.
gander of what I might think yours might be, but
Interesting. Okay. I don't know. In defining passion, while I was trying to think of an answer, I just thought of like the overarching theme of my actions, or at least some of them. I don't know. I guess I must have other passions too, because it doesn't explain everything. But I would say a passion for understanding,
mm,
whether it be other people or what is going on around me, or the interactions between molecules or the interactions between people. All are cool things that I like to understand.
well,
Nice.
yeah. I
Thanks.
was just gonna say, I don't know, my gander was that it was going to be something either like connecting with people or getting a better grasp of things. I don't remember how I exactly had it phrased in my mind. It may have been understanding, and then I thought, no, there's no way that I guessed that before he said it. But yeah, just because that is definitely the trajectory I've kind of seen develop in our conversations. Of it originally, it was like when when we first stopped, when I first stopped being super antagonistic to you, and was like, "Hey, little brother, you're actually a cool person. Let me love you." Um, it was a lot of like nuts and bolts of like, this is why Minecraft is cool. And now it's like, why is Minecraft cool? You know?
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate having a brother who is that observant of my life.
Sure. Anytime. I mean, I know you guys are that observant of me because you already have like the three criteria that make me unhappy and stuff like that, that you have discussed
Well,
without my
I
knowing.
realize those are also my 3 criteria.
Mm, yeah.
What are the
No.
three
Yeah,
criteria?
especially the. You want to say it, Joshua?
Yeah, sure. I mean, heck, I know them. So if I have not slept, eaten,
Oh,
and gone to the
yes.
bathroom within reasonable amounts of time, I'm
Yep.
incapable of being happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep, I remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially
Well,
now that I pee more. I understand you, Joshua.
yeah.
well, it sounds like Andrew just kind of has everything figured out. He has this nice balance, and Joshua is busy, like grinding to, you know, like grinding constantly, and
Pushing the boulder.
I'm like dancing around things. I don't know. Maybe we should we can revisit this thought about
I don't know.
how we do things.
I almost feel like we are all the same. We all have the same passion, just in different directions.
Hmm.
I don't really know how to prove that statement.
Yeah, me neither.
But cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Anyways,
No,
I kind of see that. Yeah,
would you like to take us away with the big old question?
with the large question.
The
Yeah,
large
I
old.
almost-
the
almost-
oversized.
I have been awake for a lot of hours.
Yeah. Yeah, what time did you get up this morning?
I think it was about 3:45 this morning. I've been doing this
That was only...
really unfortunate thing where I will wake up like 30 minutes before my alarm or so, and I'll just be like, I set my alarm, right? I set my alarm. I set my
I've been
alarm.
doing that too, actually.
Okay,
I've been doing the exact same thing.
great. It's not just me.
Maybe it's the moon phase.
Oh man, maybe. And so then I'll lie there for like 30 minutes that I could be sleeping, and then I'll get up and I'll finally just be like, I just need to check, And I'll get up and check, and like within 3 minutes, my alarm will go off. Or like it will be 3 minutes before my alarm was supposed to go off, and I'm just like, well, shoot. One time I was walking to the clock and the alarm went off. I'm just like, I just need to trust myself.
Oh,
Just trust yourself. Yeah.
man. See, I just use my phone alarm, so it's always like pretty close to the bed,
Hmm.
and I can just... Yeah, but I understand your plight
Man,
with a real alarm clock.
I went to student health like a couple weeks ago because I was like, I have had trouble sleeping for years. I wake up like multiple times in the night for like 15 to 20 minutes, and like I am awake, not able to go back to sleep. What is wrong with me? And she just looked at me and she was like, sounds to me like you have anxiety. I was like, I have anxiety? What are you talking about? And ever since then, I've
What's
just been
anxiety?
like,
Is it contagious?
I've just been like, oh my gosh, she's so right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, this was recent?
Yeah, this was
Or
recent.
like...
This was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I think I need to get like a sleep study or like some pulmonary function test because like sometimes it's like I'm lying there in bed and I just like I can't breathe. And she's like, I really think that's anxiety. And I'm like, oh,
Man, that you are like the classic medical student.
that's too
Like
simple an
patients, you know?
explanation.
Like I think like, do I need a pulmonary function test? Do I need like, you know,
Yeah.
like all these like crazy thoughts are going through your head, and it's like it's nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's not gonna kill you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. I guess isn't right.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to the things you're worried about.
And then I got a cut while I was rock climbing, and I was like, that's it. I've got it. And it's right on my shin bone, so like very, very thin connective tissue layer. And I was like, osteomyelitis. Goodbye, tibia. Yeah.
Yes, the whole thing's gonna fall off.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna below the knee amputation. Anyway, what are we talking about? Noah, ask a question.
Yeah. I have a question. It is actually, thankfully, maybe kind of related to the middle question. At least it could be. At least with the way that Josh and I were rambling off on a tangent. But you know how in interviews, at least in the movies, you know, they're always asking, what is your where did Joshua go?
Oh, I'm lying on the floor. I was sitting for too long.
Okay.
I was standing around a mannequin for the full 2 hours of the simulation hospital, like jumping over EKG leads and pulse ox clamps and
Nice.
nasal cannulas. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. I I just looked over and I just saw like 2 knees like flop up in the air and then go away, and then like there's been nothing.
I was swallowed by the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
So in like the stereotypical interview, how they ask like, "What is your greatest flaw?" And then I was like, "Oh, well, I think I work too hard, and I have too much dedication to my company." Like that. So better question. What do you do about one of your greatest flaws?
that looks like a caterpillar on the waveform.
Nice. I can answer first.
Yeah, you should answer first. You asked it, so
so that we can not listen and think of our own answers.
Right. Yeah.
I always listen. What are you talking about?
Well, this was really convenient because we were just kind of talking about this a little bit, but I feel like one of my greatest flaws, especially earlier in life, was not wanting to do things that I didn't want to do. And I think probably one of the best ways I've gotten around it is just through being really interested in things. Like when I was in college doing a class that I didn't think was that interesting to do, like great example, Western art history, just was a requirement I had to fill, and just was not particularly interesting. I love art, but like it was not particularly thrilling. It's just the only one that would fit into the schedule, so like I had to do it.
I didn't realize you ever took art history.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever said much about it. It was art history.
Man, was that at Hendrix or TCU?
That was at Hendrix.
Wow.
Yeah. I had 1 art credit to fulfill there. But like even with as not interesting to me as it was, especially at like such a, like basic entry, like just knock out a credit level, I like tried to make it interesting. And there were a couple times where video game art was brought up, and subsequently bashed by the professor, which was just broke my heart. But then I don't know, I like tried to make it interesting to myself. I guess better example is just like anything else. Like if I start to get like anything in life at all, if it's something that seems important, I try and like find ways to make it fun and interesting, which is maybe part of why I'm making an app that has games in it that teaches you how to read EKGs. Now that I think about it, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
whoa,
but that just kind of seems like the outgrowth, honestly, of when you were in, oh gosh, PT school, not PT school, PA school. Oh my gosh, I know what you're studying to be, Noah. I just didn't know what letter assistant started with. Um, anyway, yes, when you were in PA school and everyone was like just studying in the most boring way possible, and you were like, hey, let's make a game out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Even if it's something that seems that I want to do, like no matter what it is, if there's a more fun way to do it, that it's like more engaging, I feel like that is always a better idea. And sometimes that's like, it's not even something that I'm not wanting to do anyways. It just makes it that much more engaging, and I remember the stuff that much more. And hopefully the people around me remember it more than too, because they're like, wow, like we're playing this weird game like on the computer, like we played like Jeopardy games with like silly answers and stuff, but instead of just studying normally, and like hopefully that was helpful. But just making things more fun, I feel like helps a lot. Even though if I don't do that, I feel like it's sometimes really hard to do things that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. If there's no monkey brain tickling, there's no learning.
Yeah. And sometimes
Or
it's just
doing.
really dry, especially like when it's not something that's benefiting anyone immediately. It's like this is something that you're supposed to do so that you can do this down the road, or so that you can graduate, or so you can get a good grade or whatever. I'm like, this is, I mean, I'm not helping someone immediately with this. You know, it's not interesting to me. Like, why am I doing this? You know,
Yep.
but
I totally understand.
yeah, which I guess is less and less a problem because now I get to do school that is very focused on things that I enjoy. But
Yeah.
But still with sucky parts of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Applicable throughout life.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, what about you? What's your flaw and how do you avoid it?
Well, I just want to put the image first in the mind of our listeners, mom and dad, of a frame of Noah and a frame of a dark room with like the edge of a laptop, and then just sticking above the edge is just this rim of glasses and a slight Joshua face shape.
Oh, yeah.
And every once in a while, like an arm reaching over.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
oh man, it's past 6 p.m. I live on the floor. Ugh.
That's fine.
Okay.
If my floor was cleaner, I would live on my floor.
I went swimming this morning, you guys. Nothing screws with my central nervous system like swimming. The whole time, I'm just like, my body is like, you are drowning. And I'm like, no, I'm not drowning. I promise I'm not drowning. This is exercise. It's good for me. And,
this
oh
that
man.
sounds like anxiety.
It's anxiety. Okay. Anyway,
I don't know. I feel like if I swam as exercise, I might feel that way too.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna, run out of air when I'm doing exercise above water. So
True.
that's a good thought.
Yeah. Anyways, I think a pretty large flaw with me would be being a wee bit egotistical sometimes. As much as I do believe and cling on to the fact that I am the center of my own known universe, I must also recognize that we are all the centers of our own known universes. Which, to combat that and to realize that, what I've been trying to do more and more, and actually enjoying doing more and more, kind of ties into the understanding passion, is just try to genuinely get to know people and not ask the what's your favorite color questions, but ask like the, what's your life been like questions. Because that gives me perspective into how complex everybody's life is and how they truly are all themselves and their own center of their own universe.
that's interesting that helps. Usually when I ask people what their lives have been like, they're like, well, I grew up in this small town in Kansas, and then I went to
Well, yeah.
college, and
I mean, when I say what's your life been like, I don't actually say that. You have to ask something specific, like if they are from, or if they have heritage in a, Middle Eastern country, then ask them about it. What has it been like growing up in the United States in this age of racism and, 9/11 era to be of Middle Eastern descent?
I gotta say, I was not asking nearly that good of questions as a college freshman to my other college freshmen. I realize you're not technically a real freshman, but first year on a college campus with actual people. Yeah,
I don't know. It's certainly kind of it is not just me. It's kind of the culture of Pepperdine to,
that's nice. That's nice.
yeah, be
Nice.
big questiony.
I don't even remember what I asked people my freshman year of college, or like when I was getting to know them in college. I think it was like, do you work out? I work out. I do CrossFit. And then I did CrossFit for like 3 months total in college. Oh man. Anyway, my biggest flaw, I think, is obsessing about things. And my solution, the best solution, I have found is to not make it an option. And by that, I mean just cram my life as full of as many obligations as possible so that instead of having this like whirly swirly gig in my brain where all these little worries can go and like swirl around, there are like big, meaningful worries that just crush them instead. Um, yeah.
So instead of like, focusing in on one single thing all the time, you schedule in lots of different things,
Or
and then
instead of having the space to be like, man, I should really reevaluate my caloric intake for the day for the 12th time today. I should really try and plan out the rest of my life in the next 15 minutes that I have free. I just don't leave those 15 minutes free. And it's like, oh, actually, in these 15 minutes, I have this online exam that I need to do, or I have this meeting that I need to go to for a student interest group, or oh, remember how I also wanted to be a writer in addition to a medical student? I should probably work on that a little bit. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Also, exercise really helps me in that regard of the obsessing about things because like for that amount of time, I am like, okay, no matter what, this is something that feels very productive. So like I'm not obsessing about the other stuff that I maybe should be doing or how to optimize other parts of my life because I'm already doing something that I feel like is an optimization measure.
hmm.
I do feel like it's important to obsess about things sometimes.
Well, maybe sometimes, but
Like
it's also probably
what? I think your definition of obsessed might be different from my definition of obsessed. When
yeah.
I when I
That's a very good
Maybe
point.
so.
when I think obsess, it's when I go onto Instacart, and I spend 45 minutes looking up, trying to like looking up which place has like the healthiest bread. And I'm like, okay, Aldi has this one. Aldi has this bread, but like Whole Foods has this bread, and this bread has like zero point 0.5 less grams of fat and 0.025 more grams of protein. But is it really worth the extra 50 cents per serving? And
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Fair
Okay,
fair
okay, okay,
point
okay.
Yeah.
taken.
So maybe my my real issue, my real greatest weakness is losing sight of the important things and giving undue, just having a very skewed distribution of time spent worrying about certain things as compared to their importance and relevance in my life. Like, do you know how much time I spend worrying about like when I'm going to go on my next social engagement or adventure or something? Way less than I worry about like, oh man, how am I going to get my macronutrient split in for the day over the course of 4 meals? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Reasonable.
So you talk about like you just don't have time to think about stuff to worry about it. But
Yes.
wouldn't it maybe be beneficial to have like a little bit of time, not like tons, but like just a tiny bit to be like, okay, like you're talking about like vision boards or like list five lists or whatever, these kinds of things. Same idea to just be like, okay, like this is my schedule of things for the day, or these are like the important things I'm working on. Which of these is important to me? You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's because you're talking about you stress about like the macronutrients and stuff. And I know it's like way easier said than done, but to just be like, okay, this like training your brain to be like, this is an important one, like, med school exam, important, like spend brain stress on it, social engagements, importance, not maybe worth brain stress, but importance to go do, specific caloric intakes for the day, maybe not going to have a huge impact on you for today,
Yeah.
or like specific, like, I don't know, just, I'm sure there are loads and loads of things, because I know you stress about random things a lot, and I think it's great that you try and diversify so that you're not just constantly like sitting doing one thing and just going into a whirlpool of your own anxiety about it. But also, I don't know, could you just like, quantify how much stress each thing is worth? I don't know. I feel like that's way easier said than done.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is like so you're talking like this is your
Like a goon.
oh my gosh. I had this great analogy, and do you know where it went? It just went. So so yeah, I'm on like the level of like leather boots. I'm level 1. I'm just like trying on these leather boots. That's the biggest item in my inventory right now. You're talking like diamond sword. I'm not on the diamond sword level yet. That's way too many levels advanced for me. So my leather boots are you crowd out the unimportant stuff with stuff that is hopefully more important just to squash it as hard as you can. Squash that unimportant stuff away. And then maybe once you're a little better, you can use that diamond sword to carve out a little more time for that less important stuff because it is maybe somewhat important still, and just give it a little room to breathe. But currently, that unimportant stuff is, in addition to breathing, also just like sucking the entire free time of my life at times.
Yeah.
So much easier just to squash it. In other words, wow. Maybe I misadvertised when I said that I had a great metaphor.
I thought that was a pretty good metaphor because I can expand upon it by saying that you have the leather boots on right now, and that's okay, and they'll last for a certain amount of time. But you must be conscious of the fact that you have to upgrade.
I mean,
And that
leather boots only have like 80 hit points. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
That
Pretty
can
low
only
durability.
survive like eight creeper blows. But you can upgrade, and all you have to do is live and put an effort into it. I know it's not actually that simple, but adopt that mindset. This is the Andrew's the one with energy special.
yeah.
Yeah. Man, extra props to Noah because he had a full day of like a job. I just had like
Yeah.
student
A
stuff.
learning job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learning job, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I am not trying to cram my day full of as many things as possible. That's not actually true today at all. But I'm not always trying to cram my day full of as many things as possible. And so it is not as draining. And I also feel like maybe I spend a lot of time thinking about, is this worth my time and effort?
Mm.
You know? And is it something I really want to do?
Yeah. I
So
definitely get
I
that
don't know.
impression. Yeah, I definitely get that impression whenever we are like on some form of vacation together and it's like, okay, we have all these options, but which one are we going to do? We're going to do that one. Okay, but is that really the best one that we can do? You know?
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just do that in general.
Yep. Common trait.
Yep.
Wow, this is coming to just a roaring end. We are
It's like
speeding into the finish.
somebody cut the engine of the semi truck, but there are no brakes.
Yeah, just kind of coasting slowly through the Arizona desert. Putt, 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 putt,
But,
putt,
but,
putt.
but.
Anyway, let's wrap it up there. This podcast is created by the three of us, written by none of us, and edited, produced by me, Joshua. Hopefully, it's also listened to and enjoyed by you, but no pressure, hey? So join us next time, hopefully at an earlier hour in the day, as we unravel more of the world's big questions, or just get tangled up in them. We'll see how things go when we get there. Until then, love, thanks, and T-Rex hugs from all of us. We couldn't have done this without you. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye! You guys don't have security underwear?
No. No.
Keeps the hose at bay.
Wow. Um,
This episode is
Yeah.
sponsored by Security Underwear. Keep the hose at bay.
oh
Yep.
gosh.
And by that, I mean the farming tool.
That
Oh
makes sense.
gosh.
Because, you know, if it like falls while you're farming, then it could do some real damage to your nards.
Or if you step on one and it like flips up and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I'm gonna edit that out, Andrew, not because I think that like we're a super clean podcast or anything, but just because I feel like that's not something you want potential.
On the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mates to be exposed to.